Grand Theft Auto 6 should slow it down. Now, I've seen a lot of people online and they're like, you know what? I don't want to see Grand Theft Auto 6 have the same speed or whatever as Red Dead Redemption 2, where we got to slow it down to pick up a can of beans, or man, it feels like I'm controlling a tank walking around. I disagree with them completely. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 hit it right on the mark with at least how I enjoy experiencing those worlds. And I think it kind of was influenced by Grand Theft Auto 4, which to this day, in my opinion, is the best Grand Theft Auto. And I'm not saying that as some zoomer who came in at Grand Theft Auto 5 and that's the game I've grown up with. I started with the very first Grand Theft Auto and have played every single one as they've been released. And each one, in my opinion, was better than the previous. Grand Theft Auto 2 was better than 1. I know that's controversial for some people. I even enjoyed London. And of course, when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, I was absolutely blown away that we could now experience this world in a 3D universe. And then Vice City. And now our protagonist is voiced, and it's freaking Ray Liotta. And you have this amazing Miami drug story. It was absolutely awesome. And then, of course, San Andreas. Oh my God, that blew me away back in the day. And still to this day, I want to see some of those smaller kind of RPG elements coming back. The ability to gain weight and lose it. If you played it, you know. But then Grand Theft Auto 4. Oh man, I remember being so hyped for this, watching all of the trailers and everything. They even had like a cop recruitment video that they put out. I remember that was funny.
My name is Brian O'Toole. I wanted to fight the war on terror, but I don't read so good. Most careers were closed to me. That's why I joined the LCPD.
They had that funny ad of banging on trash can lids for an hour.
It's the new performance rhythm sensation, banging trash can lids for an hour. Critics say it's astonishing. Astonishing what people from out of town will pay to see. It's a story told by men and women fighting with brooms, tap dancing with sanitation materials, and a lot of heart. Hear them make music out of trash can lids.
They had a whole website. It was awesome. I was so excited. The very first thing that actually caught my attention about Grand Theft Auto 4 was seeing the fact that bullet holes could now show up on cars and that you could crack windows. That had me sold, just that alone. And then the Euphoria physics. Oh my gosh. I remember just going down the rabbit hole, learning everything I could, watching the Euphoria physics showcase video back in 2007, 2008. And then when I finally got my hands on this game, the first thing I did was hop in a car and just start bumping into people to play with the physics. But then I played the game and I realized it was so much different from other Grand Theft Auto games. One of the earliest missions has you throwing a brick through a window and you're slowly getting sucked into this world of crime, and it was immersive. I felt for Nico. I was so attached to that character, and the driving was top notch. I loved it. People say it's like a boat on wheels, but it's like, dude, try and do some of the driving you do in Grand Theft Auto 5 and you're gonna see that stuff's impossible in real life, or at the very least you're gonna get yourself in a horrible accident. And Grand Theft Auto 4's driving isn't hard. It's actually pretty dang easy to get down if you take into the account the weight of the car that you are driving. Every car handled differently, and it was amazing. The shooting was amazing. I remember there's these blood spurts that would pop out of people when you would shoot, the way they would fall. The physics were top notch and like nothing we'd ever seen before in video games. The story was dark and depressing, but also had this great sense of humor. It felt very real. And the crime world was dark and gritty, and they had this post-processing on the screen that, you know, like a movie would have. It was color graded. So the way they had presented this world was a very dark and bleak experience, and I loved it. And I could not wait when Grand Theft Auto 5 was announced. I remember I printed out an entire PDF, all of the pages of everything we knew about Grand Theft Auto 5 that I found online. It was like 20 or 30 pages. I would take that with me everywhere, and I would just read through it, look at all of the cool features that were going to be in the game, and I was so excited. It looked like it was based heavily off the movie Heat, so I watched that a million times. But then the game came out, and I was devastated by how freaking boring it was. I hate Grand Theft Auto 5. I do. I've tried so hard to love it. I've tried to play it over and over and over again. And the characters suck. Everything's so nihilistic and it's about making money. I don't care about anyone. Trevor killed Johnny. That was it for me, man. And then I was like, you know what? Let's try the gameplay. But the shooting was boring. Like everything is like laser accurate, pinpoint accuracy. The physics felt dumbed down. I hated how the screen flashed when you killed something. I didn't like the hit markers. I didn't like how the police would just throw 100 people at you. The cars exploded too fast. Everything became over the top very quickly. And in doing that, it lost what Grand Theft Auto 4 had, which is kind of that steady ramp up to just absolute chaos. And then on top of that, that unpredictability in what's going to be happening in an event, like in a shootout or a chase, because the physics were dumbed down to work on the Xbox 360. And the story was just, from what I played, not very good. I know how it ends. I've had it spoiled for me, yada yada. It's been years. It's been over a decade. And that's another thing. It's been 12 years now, and 12 years of me waiting for the next Grand Theft Auto, because I was just like, you know what, this one isn't for me. But man, they sure made all of us wait on that next one, milking Grand Theft Auto Online. And I've played Grand Theft Auto Online, and honestly, I think that's where the real experience of the game is at. And that kind of sucks, because if you love Grand Theft Auto 4 as much as I do, man, you know that's what we want. We want more of that. And Red Dead Redemption, when that came out, oh man. So, after Grand Theft Auto 4 and Red Dead Redemption, I thought for sure 5 was going to knock it out of the park, and it didn't. But Rockstar saved me in 2018 with Red Dead Redemption 2. And that absolutely blew me away in every single way possible, from the physics to the way the guns handle to the way that you interact with the world, being able to walk around in first person just right off the bat, and all the different customization options to fine-tune the way that you control your character. Yes, it's true, Arthur does handle like a boat at first, but if you mess around with the settings, you'll find that things get much snappier. I love the fishing, I loved hanging out with friends, and that was in Grand Theft Auto 4 too. I miss that. People say they didn't like that. I loved it. I loved living in that world. It's one thing to go on a mission and do all this shooting and killing and, robbing and stuff and see the crime and all that, but violence without context is just boring. So if the player is put in a world that they can live in, when those violent, terrible things happen, they feel like they have real weight. And also, just in Grand Theft Auto 5, like one of the first missions is like you're in a hood shootout and you're shooting like 100 people. Oh, I hated it. And look, I know that's not very popular. I know a lot of people love Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't. But I think Grand Theft Auto 6 should basically just be the baby of Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 4. I think those are the two strongest games that Rockstar has ever made. Yeah, I know there's a lot of love for San Andreas. Look, it blew us all out of the water when it came out. And there's still some things in San Andreas that they should bring back, such as the ability to work out, learning different fighting styles, going to different cities, just having that whole adventure. But Red Dead Redemption 2 kind of brought something to Rockstar Games that we hadn't seen before, with their strangers and random events and things that you might not see in 1,000 hours of playing the game, but your buddy saw. And that is what Skyrim had, the ability to discover things if you go off out on your own. It's kind of interesting because as Bethesda has kind of continued to decline, I feel like Rockstar Games has just been on top of it with Red Dead Redemption 2. You don't need Skyrim anymore. You have Red Dead Redemption 2. You can go out and get the same adventure out of it. Now, sure, you can't create your character down to what their fingernails look like and their name and everything. You are Arthur Morgan and then John Marston in the game, but that makes the narrative weight heavier because these are fully realized, fleshed out characters. So with this next game, I hope they don't Gen Z the shit out of it. Just an endless onslaught of stimuli like Grand Theft Auto 5 was. I don't want that. I want something like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 4. I saw some stuff online about how you're going to have to keep your weapons in a trunk. I love the idea of having a primary and a secondary, and you can only take those with you. You don't have a whole weapon wheel. I'd love the idea of like maybe a hardcore mode. You're not able to take but 1 or 2 shots. Maybe even a survival mode, like in Red Dead Redemption, how they kind of did it with the core stuff. Like you need to eat and bathe and all of that. Live in the world so that when you go out and you do all of the things you're doing, you feel fresh and ready. And not only that, but those small mundane things that you do in Red Dead Redemption 2 allow you to live in the world and look around at what's going on around you. And it is true. After playing Red Dead Redemption 2, I went back to 1. And yeah, there was a bit of an arcadey mix to it that I liked. 1 was faster, snappier, more straightforward, just more self-contained. Where Red Dead Redemption 1 feels like an epic movie, Red Dead Redemption 2 feels like an epic TV series, like some sort of HBO show or something. But Grand Theft Auto 6, given that it's taken all of this time and resources to make, I think it should be a lot like Red Dead Redemption 2 in that big epic HBO-style TV show way. Slow it down, let us live in that world. This isn't something you're going to want to watch and scroll through like a freaking TikTok video. This is something you're going to want to immerse yourself in and enjoy. Because I'll tell you what, after Grand Theft Auto 6, we're not getting something like this for a very, very, very long time. Some of us might be in our 40s or 50s the next time we see something like that. So yes, I think they should slow it down. I want Jason to take his time and hang out with, what's her name, Louisa? I want there to be a lot of gameplay around taking it slow, getting to know these two characters, especially because it looks like it's going to be a Romeo and Juliet style story. And the map is going to be huge. There's going to be different locations. Rockstar has always wanted to go really big, and then they always have to dial it back for the hardware. But I think this time we're going to see something absolutely insane. So people say they take 200 or 300 hours to absolutely do everything in Red Dead Redemption 2, and then they still haven't seen everything. I want this game personally to be a 500 to 700 hour game, maybe even longer. And I think that that is what it's going to be, guys. I think that's what they're going to deliver. I don't think it's going to be the nonsense we got with Grand Theft Auto 5. I think it is going to be a lot more like Grand Theft Auto 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2, and man, I sure hope so. So that is my rant. I didn't really come at this with like a list of bullet points or anything to go down. It's just, this is something I've been thinking about. I do think this game should be slow to be immersive. I don't know. What do you think? You could totally disagree with me, downvote the video, talk crap in the comments. I don't care, but I would like to know your thoughts and opinions on the subject because I'm genuinely curious. So anyways, what was your favorite Grand Theft Auto? Like and subscribe, yada yada, all that stuff. If you got value out of this channel's kind of got all sorts of stuff, so maybe look around, see if there's something for you. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, night, week, year, whatever. Just stay safe out there in this dangerous world. Peace.